Hello, 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 and welcome back. Give it a moment. It's getting there. Every time. I believe in it. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Hope everyone's had a good day so far. I hope everyone's having a good one. Yeah. We're back at again with the programming. Sorry, I'm slightly in a weird thing because I've just been watching all sorts of crap this morning and keeping up with some news. So give me a moment to get like completely brain working. I apologize. Is that working? Nice. Today was less full of problems than it could have been, which is nice. I really don't know if you, because I think I talked about this last week. I started trying out hosting to Twitch first instead of hosting to YouTube first when I do my split hosting. And yesterday I actually had an issue, and man, it was really fast to resolve. With less, complications and issues. And today, no issues, which is nice. Almost kind of getting to a point where I'm expecting issues more often than I'm not. Which is, in a sense, a good thing, because that means I'm prepared, but also means it's just more stress and unnecessariness. Alright. Oh, so, I haven't done as much work on this over the weekend as I was hoping to. Just because I couldn't quite find the direction I wanted to go with what I need to get done between, like, for this next update. Because there's the list I have of things that need to be done in general, really long, know exactly what I need to do. What I need to get done before this next update and what I'm working on at the moment, it's a little bit more ambiguous. Because, like, the shorthand rule is that, like, what I make this update... So, thankfully I went for a walk yesterday and really thought through these things. What I need to be working on at the moment is the... kind of the final stretch of everything that's not related to the final update. So this is why, like, a lot of visuals and key assets and stuff like that is what's getting worked on at the moment, is because that's what is missing at the moment. The game is filled with a lot of placeholder assets still. While I'm not expecting to make all of the true final assets now, I am working quite round the clock to ensure we get to where we are. Get to a valid point. So, with that being the case, yeah, God, it's real descriptive. So yeah, with that being the situation, we're now in a place where I need to figure out what we get done for this next update. So, while I was on my walk, had a lot of thoughts, wrote down a bunch of stuff once I got back, as you can kind of see them, of what needs to be ticked off on for considerations between now and the next update. So with that being the case, I'm going to kind of be looking over at this list quite a bit and referring to that. Because, so let's pull up paint for a moment. And kind of go over what the Steam release looks like. Because that's going to actually, we'll work back from that. So, let's see. Steam release. Steam release needs to have Steam integration, We wanted to also have multiplayer. And we want meta progression. Those are the three things that we're not doing at all this update. Like, absolutely, these are next. Like, this is the final ticking off. Then we obviously have like QOL stuff that we'll probably be working on as well. So this is what we need to have for next update. So first things first, we still have quality of life stuff we can work on now. That's fine, right? So I'm just gonna like point down as just like, it's an infinite thing that we're gonna be working on this. So Steam integration and multiplayer kind of go hand in hand a lot with what we're going to be doing. Steam integration is actually going to be pretty separate from what we're going to work on overall, because it's kind of like I put it in and I just hook in a couple of things to it and it'll be fine. Achievements are probably going to be the most complex thing. They're also going to be coming in. That's kind of where Steam integration, meta progression, all that sort of stuff, those sort of categories. But outside of that, like, it basically, Steam integration hooks in with these two things, and these two things need to be what we work with. Multiplayer being the biggest one, because technically, meta progression also is going to hook into multiplayer. For the most part. So, that means we need to work on preparation for multiplayer in a sense. But not fully, because again, we're not designing multiplayer in the game yet. We just want to have a lot of the foundation prepped for it. So, what does this mean? Well, let's have a little look. So there is potential changes. What's that in the bottom left? It's an infinite simple one. Do you not know what infinity looks like? So value storage. Okay, do you want arrows then to like really cement? Like fucking quality of life goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. Since you're gonna act like a child. Yes, cats, alright, come on. So, value storage needs to be a big consideration that needs to be worked on. What this spreads out into being is, alright, chill out, Gab. Oh, God. So what this spreads out into is kind of the weapons, etc. values. I watch thanks. But there's one specific thing that's kind of come up while I was thinking about stuff, which is how cooldowns. Oops. Would get handled. What we have at the moment is adequate for if we were continuing to do single player, but if we're doing multiplayer, it's not probably quite correct. So we might need to do something about that. Which leads on to something else with this, which is like value if sendable or send need. This I'll explain a little bit with this. So there was a point made by someone I know, or a few people I know, about how cooldowns should be visualized. So at the moment, you can't actually really see cooldowns outside of the EX, and eventually the assist when that visually gets added. Okay, cats, I'm sorry, I really can't have both of you on my lap right now. You have a thing next to me, curl up there. Alright, so if we want to visualize, then we need to have the cooldowns done differently. If we also want to have it so the player is triggering the weapon, this cooldown needs to be done separately as well. So this is where, like, I'm kind of pointing at is there's some systematic changes that need to be made that are going to be annoying to make. Now, overall, this does actually kind of talk about the majority of things that need to be done. Now, there is one other aspect of multiplayer that needs to be worked on, which is enemies. Now, this one is a lot of optimization. And just generally better handling, right? But this is kind of where we're at with what we need to be looking at for this next update, is the stuff outside of this box over here. So, quality of life, continuing on that, and enemies. Now, there is another aspect to enemies that I'm going to just kind of like point at here, which is the enemy balance manager. Which we've worked on a little bit, still. We've talked about it a few times. It was the system that we started implementing like a few weeks back, where it would pseudo-balance the game during the run to better accommodate where the player's powers are. Now, I'm going to be pulling a lot of the power out of that in terms of stuff like experience values and all that. Those are probably going to be removed as a thing that I might be augmenting. But the general damage capabilities of the players, I might accommodate for still. To just try and make it so the players are still challenged on a fairly regular basis, and so each run does feel somewhat unique. More so than what the modifiers are going to do. Now, the reasoning to why experience is going to get pulled out of the discussion for it is because experience is already going to become quite complex with the introduction of stuff like multiplayer. I feel it probably just best not to add too much more complexity to it than is necessary. Now, overall, this is pretty much the main stuff, but let's come back to kind of the topic I had up here, which is the value of send need. So, when you're playing with a multiplayer game, you need to send data. We're going to be having a system where there's kind of one player as the host and everyone plays off of that person. For that, we're going to have, how do I best describe it? We're going to have a data system that transports over when events occur on every player's thing, when necessary. So one of the necessary things I think we might try and do is have it so only the current host player is triggering their events for abilities and stuff like that, and that the stats of each player is transferred over every half second. The core stats, like combat stats, everything that would be necessary for the other players to know. And then also when a weapon would trigger. Now this could get really dangerous at high cooldown situations, which is why we're going to have to utilize our cooldown rate system where it is diminishing returns and have hard caps on that. And that's going to be something that's going to be the huge amount of testing we're going to do in the next section of time after this current update, but we should be preparing for it. So cooldowns are going to have like the biggest amount of work done to them, and then weapons, like the value positioning is going to get potentially tweaked up a little bit, because at the end of the day, this is something that I've really come to realize a lot, is that we're still in a state of flux with how the game needs to be structured. I could change the game structure completely. It would take me ages, sure, but I couldn't do that and it'd still be kind of acceptable. However, once it goes onto Steam, that doesn't track anymore. I can't overhaul systems foundationally without huge dire consequences potentially, and it just makes it no longer a valid consideration. So I kind of need to start finishing up on what I think things need to be written as. I need to finalize certain things. So, I'm going to mainly work on the enemies, I think, today. Because there's a lot that I need to work on there. But I think initially, we should probably work on this cooldown change. Because it's going to shift a lot of how we do our code. Actually, no, I'm going to start doing the flattening process that I need to do. So this is another thing that I kind of need to work on. It's not going to be very obvious, but because... I'm just going to go down so we have a clear area. When dealing with multiplayer and stuff like that, in the case that we're going to be dealing with, there's going to be two main objects to work with. There's going to be the controller, and then the player. Now, the controller is going to basically be the hosting object. And then the player is, well, the player. Which means we have several, sub-objects at the moment that handle a lot of systems outside of these. For example, the player controller. We can't really use that anymore, can we? If we're going to do this, we kind of want to merge back up into the player. And same with the controller. Which is going to make the code a lot harder to read, but it's going to fit this thing that we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at OController and OPlayer and see what we need to do to push these together. It also means, theoretically, for example, like get input, we're going to get a lot less problems with that. This does mean as well, there is something in here I think I talked about that I was scared about getting rid of, but I think it's going to be correct to get rid of now. But there's also other things that I'm going to have to consider. So, as we're going through this, I'm going to scroll and see what might need to be done. That no longer needs to be handled there, because that's handled. Okay, no. This is some of the stuff that needs to be potentially removed. Drop experience cleanup needs to be handled. This needs to be handled somewhere. That is dev test. Infinite scaling HP. Shield. I don't think the shield's handled there, is it? I think I handle the shields completely differently. EX cutoff. More dev test. More dev test. And then the experience. Okay. Rip that out. And now I'm going to push it all up here and work backwards from this. So we aren't going to be changing this system pretty much at all, but it needs to probably be handled at the back end. To be fair, there's an argument to be made this shouldn't even be handled by the player anymore. This should get moved to the controller. We might consider just doing that soon. Because is there actually anything to do with the player here? There isn't. Okay, so I'm actually going to yoink that and push that to our main controller. I'm gonna push it here. Okay. Now let's go back to here and see what else we need to tweak. So keep in mind we do have our get input here. We'll have this stuff. Up the top here. For now. And I'm going to put that there. I'm just gonna do this to make it kind of like a bit more segmented out. Alright, so again, I don't believe this value is used very much. Yeah. So O player shield doesn't exist outside of that little spot there. These are safety nets that should exist. We'll just toss them down the bottom, because your kind of safety nets like that should probably be done as late as possible to ensure nothing's weirdly happening. This again can go into dev test. And then these are important triggers. So let's also just put in movement here. And like keep that a little bit more tightly put. Okay. So have those. And then I'm gonna handle the cooldowns like the way I'm intending. I probably don't even need these anymore. And I'm gonna just shift to the completely different system. For now, they're necessary. Yeah. Because basically, how do I explain it best? Basically, what we're gonna be doing with cooldowns, if we just get rid of like all of this stuff. So if we, what we're going to be doing to cooldowns is there's going to be one time source that's basically just ticks down pretty much like every 0.1 seconds. That will go through an array or arrays and stuff like that of the cooldowns and minus that from all of them. And by doing that, it will handle how a cooldown will be. Or it will increase in value until it gets to that. That might be the way we do it. I'm not sure, but it's just that kind of idea of like, it takes this value here, which is going to be the duration of the time source, and then impacts the values in here relative to that, so it knows when it needs to trigger. And then like it'll at the end go like if goes through array, go like for loops through an array for if I is or 0. then function. I know it's a really terrible description of it, but it's kind of generally what we're doing with this. It's going to be messy, but it is going to probably be generally a better system. And it will be a lot more succinct as well, right? Because it will handle any systems I want to add into this to be handled. Because it also means that theoretically, that's kind of what we do with player buffs, right? So it would just be taking what we do with player buffs and making that universal. Which I think is a good way to do it. Cleanup. Yeah, I'll toss those over to the player for now. Now, some of this, I'm going to yoink this, and it's not going to go into the create event. It's going to go into room start event with the good old switch room. So now this should all actually just function as it was before without much in the way of issues. Let's just see if we get a crash. There is actually one crash I just realized will happen. No. Well, I don't think it will crash, but there's an error that exists. Which is you. There we go. Hey, yep. Overall's going well. Alright, let's see if this has any issues. If this doesn't have any issues, we can move on with what we're doing at the moment. And actually just get rid of controller player. Again, the system I had in place is correct if we weren't doing single player. I kind of still stand by that thought process. Yeah, it looks like we've got everything working. Cool. Also, yeah, one thing I don't think I've actually shown on the stream, I have now updated the tile set a little bit, and we've got a very different style going on for it. Not gonna 100% say that this is the final thing, looks a little bit better. But I did spend a good few hours tweaking it up to look like this now. That mouse looks so cute. I'm glad that you like. But yeah, so we still do need to finish implementing Shillelagh and Monarch at some point, because they are still kind of not actually functional. Or barely functional. Oh, that's not adapted incorrectly. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Ooh, and that goes a little far over the text. Okay. So, now that we've done that, we can get rid of O controller player. So what we're going to do first, though, is find all instances of reference of O controller player before we do that. Because if we try and get rid of something like that and don't actually get rid of it correctly, we are going to cause problems. And delete. Cool. So now the player handles everything that the controller also handled before. It's going to have to handle a lot more by the time we're done. It's just going to be the fun part of it all. I guess this kind of almost feels like I'm taking the training wheels off of the project. Is by like narrowing it down, I'm now making a slightly scarier project to try and manage, but we've managed it fairly well up until now. And this all should be pretty easy. So now let's start working with the cooldown systems that we want to try and change. Because I think that's going to be an adequate thing. We're also going to have to shift the enemy controller into the controller main soon. But I kind of want to do that when I go through and do the process of changing how enemies are going to be handled a little bit as well. Which I think is probably just the correct bet. Might be wrong on that, but that's kind of my thought process. So, how do we want to handle this? We can probably best make a function for this. Let's make... I'm going to have to make folders inside of the script thing. Create script. So this is going to be... skill cooldown. Push. So what we're going to need is the ability. Or the skill. Yeah, let's just call it skill. Should probably start just using skill as the input for those in general. And then it's going to have to be ooh, that's a good point. How do I want to handle that? Because, like, this is going to be real easy because we know where this goes. This will be super easy. Because it will just be replacing a specific function that exists already in a lot of the weapons and items and everything, and just tweaking them as we go. That's the benefit we have of this. So I just realized that's thinged. I guess we don't need it because we'll have the cleanup afterwards and it'll just lead to a constantly dynamically changing array, which I think's fine. Yeah, okay, so we won't worry about the cleanup. Yeah, we'll have it fully dynamic. Cool. So skill, cooldown. Oh, but it probably should have an indexing. Should probably have a... Okay. So let me explain kind of what I'm thinking at the moment and why this is like slightly confusing. So what we're going to have to pass through for this time function system is we need for the ability to the skill, so we can use it to call the function. We need the cooldown to be separate, so we can manually set if need be. And then what I'm kind of thinking is that we're going to have like weapon-based ones and ability ones and skill ones and all that. The problem is if we want to get if we want to visualize, so the items at the top, or like the item boxes that we've got, right, on the UI. So at the moment, all of them are bloody feathers, so let's just use the feather for the example. What we would probably want to do is we'd either have the very atypical kind of like that cooldown thing where like this rotates around, or we have the bar fill up, or fill down, whatever, right? How are we going to know which cooldown is what? So this creates a situation where we need to know what the cooldown index is. Now, there is a really easy answer for this, is that we push through skill type. And then, or, yeah, skill type, and then also, index. Let's just, so get those, and then so skill, type, and index. So the reasoning behind this is that we know which array to push. And then with this, we know its location. Problem is, with the indexing, is that we'd probably want it to be the same as its index from the equipped array. So now we need to figure out how the hell we're getting that information, and I don't want to constantly be just searching this information. We probably want to lock this in. So that probably means when we initially level up, we set the index as a variable in the struct. So let's write that in here. Index equals 0 by default. And we're putting it into both just because. And then should be in here. Okay, and then we can go up here. Goddamn. So weapon. Item. Ability. Other. We should probably also just have EX and assist. There's other options here. So other is prepping for another thing that I'm wanting to work on as well. Hey, what's up? Nothing much. Getting this ticked along. Okay, and then this value here is going to be changed. Okay, so stat up is also one that we should probably do. Assist. Stat up. Okay, because then, yeah, so we can use this for a few things now, which is also going to probably help out my friend with some data driven information. How am I? I am tired as fuck. You want the short answer? That is it. The long answer, or the longer answer. The long short answer is we're really close to getting a lot of this stuff done, and I'm really enjoying where I'm at with this work now. Okay, so I need to pass through skill type index. That should be all we need. So you're going to need a switch case for skill type. Which will be skill weapon. Skill item. Never underestimate the power of switch statements. I hate them with a passion, but they are very useful on occasion. Skill, so then we want its assist. No, I'm all good. I don't have the money to pay you, full stop, so best to leave it at that. But I do appreciate the offer. Stat up. Case skill dot other. I think that's the last one, right? And then we probably should write a default case. To be fair, I think the default case is just going to be the skill other. So I'm just going to remove the break there. And to explain why we have break and all that sort of stuff in a switch statement, it's actually pretty simple. So let's get rid of all of this because we kind of already talked about all of this. Ah, I can't get that far back. There we go. Awesome. So when dealing with a switch statement, to those that might not know, the case will go and it will do everything in here, and then it immediately will if you do not have a break, at the end of it, it will just bleed immediately into, so you don't have this here, it will bleed immediately into the next case. It will just knock here. So, by doing what we've done here, basically we've just made skill, other, and default the exact same, which is just probably correct in this case. Because if you've ever dealt with a for loop, you'll know how break works in there. Break with a for loop stops it at the current loop that it's doing, and it'll quit out of the for loop. That's what we're kind of doing here, is that's kind of what this, in a sense, what the switch statement is doing, is it's just going down the list of things to check if this is all correct. That's why you don't want switch statements that are too long, but they are also better than if statements sometimes, depending on how you handle it. But in this case, this is probably just the correct way to do this. So now we probably need to make in the player, in the create event, and in... Yeah, so again, this is where we've got like a lot of data getting put, but not this is not used, this is not inputted correctly, this is not anything. It is just here for now until I do my switch over and get everything going. So what we're going to put here is we're going to put we're gonna have cool down. That's not how you write any of that. Arrays. We're going to have weapon cooldown. Wait. Can I have your Discord for sharing your portfolio? I don't see how that's beneficial in any way. Just due to the fact that I am not going to be able to follow up any further. And I'm probably not the right person to have review things. And simply put, I mean this in the nicest way, what you're doing now is very reminiscent of a door-to-door salesman, and right now I'm basically telling you I'm not interested. So please leave it at that. Six, and then -1. And we're gonna want this for items. So the fun part is weapons are the only one that really matter for this, but we can still have the items have this stuff. Everything else, though, not really. EX, there we go. And then we want this as assist. And then now I need to think on this, because like we're not going to display any abilities at all, and any others. And stats don't even need a thing. So there's actually a massive change we can make to this. Assists and EX are the things. So let's get rid of stat up, and let's rip ability out from here and put it here. and remove the break. And then I want to probably add another value into these, which is just gonna have that for now. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have cooldown display. This value will be what's checked to check if we're going to show the cooldown on the thing. By default, for all weapons, this should probably be the case, but for all items, it's not going to be the case. There's some items that I think we want them for. There's a few items I can think of that will have a long, like a thing that will be like, hey, this is the long term what we have for the thing. What's a good example? I know that was a terrible description. No. Grandpa's deck. That's a good example of one. Grandpa's deck. It has a pretty substantial cooldown. We're going to want to show that so you know how long you've got until the next one. There's other ones I can think of. Example here, Infernal Contract. This one, is that the one I'm thinking of? Yes. This one will have it so it will change part way. So normally it's a short cooldown, 0.1 seconds here. That's going to have to be changed, by the way, to half a second. But that's kind of what we mean by, like, a lot of things are going to get changed. But then if this gets triggered, it's a longer cooldown. We'll have here that it changes it so it's a visual cooldown during that time and then goes back to being a non-visual cooldown. That is kind of the intention behind that change. And that is basically all we're going to have for this. So why we want this, I'm also going to just put in 0.5 here. And we're going to move that to the end. so we don't have to fill it out. So the reasoning here should be pretty simple, I think. This is the cooldown, this is what we're going to be influencing. This is the functionality stuff that we talked about, so this will mean that we can basically call, it will be, if I just write it down here for a moment, it will be written as basically skill dot func brackets skill. That's what we'll be doing. Which is all we need to trigger our, all of our things. That's how we've designed them, with that intention. So yeah, this is what we've got for this stuff. And then in difference though, with assist and EX, they're not going to have the skill pass through because we don't want to re-trigger them the moment they're off unless the condition is met, which then we will have something different for them. Because the EX and the assist are in such a stagnant, consistent, and guaranteed location of where their functionality will be, it is much easier to pull that information. Same with getting their cooldowns theoretically, so we could just actually just do O player dot so I'm just gonna put in index equals 0 by default, because then we can also have assist cooldown equals, and then we go player struct. Where's the stats? Yeah. Dot actually, no, don't I have a thing for, like, getting assist? What do I have for assist cooldown stuff? We'll figure it out in a second. I'm just gonna put in a variable like this, but it should just be throwing through the variable, and we'll be fine. And then with all of these other ones, they will go into O player dot. Now, what did we call it something? We haven't actually even made it yet. Okay. Items. I think I've written this incorrectly. Yeah, it's got items, not item cooldowns. And then other cooldowns equals array. Now that's where we're going to have to do a lot of dynamic work for. How do I want to do this? Because there's some that might not want this. For now, I think we just push through, like that. So yeah, it's also just going to be a simple array push instead, because we are doing it dynamically styled. Alright. Sorry. Getting a little distracted by something. Okay. Again, also, I mentioned this earlier, but I do have to look over at my notes that I wrote yesterday to try and like review over kind of if I'm going in the right direction with these. And this is kind of what I was intending. It is a lot more simpler than I was hoping, or that I was originally intending, which is nice. I mean, there's an argument to be made. I don't actually need these two here. I can just put default. Because it's like, it's literally whatever we put in that's not these, it will do this. Because it's going to be so many things, we might as well just do this. Because, in short, default is when it doesn't meet any of the conditions that have already been preset. So this is how we'll do the cooldowns getting pushed through. Then we will need to go here and look at how we handle buffs. Yeah, okay. How do I do this? So this is where we make the decision of, do we want the num to count up? We're going to have it count down to 0. That's the correct way to do it. How I'm going to handle that in some cases is going to be interesting. So... ironically enough, this then needs to be changed to here, pushed to here. Okay, so how am I going to want to do this? I'm going to want to have, it'll basically be here. So I'm going to want to have it start here, but I'm going to create it somewhere else. I'm going to create it here. Now, something that I find fascinating is so a lot of developers in Game Maker do not like using time sources, or what I've heard. A lot of them like using alarms and stuff. So I want to actually explain why I do not like the use of alarms and why I prefer the use of time sources in this case. Hey, Banky. My Simple explanation is a time source can be dedicated to time, whereas a alarm can be influenced by lag very differently. A time source works a little bit more independent of lag, so it means events will keep occurring if it is lagging, which is probably the correct thing to do if we are doing a multiplayer based event. It does lead to some potential interesting lag problems, one of which I am slightly concerned about, and we'll see about it in the future. Which is a issue that I have dreaded trying to resolve for an eternity. Now, the issue is not very apparent, but I think I can force it to occur at some... I'll try and force it to occur at some point, and we'll see what happens. So, we will write a function for this. Alright, function... cool down... tick. But yeah, that's an issue that's like a code nightmare that nobody really understands it. Sometimes. Well, I say nobody understands it. A lot of people understand it, but it's just really weird. And it gets missed very easily. That's the big thing I want to mention with it. How do I want to handle this? I mean, the simple thing is for... I don't understand anything. Same. Whoops, weapons, cooldowns, and then I++. Okay, so let me explain the issue that I'm gonna have to prevent, and it's really easy. I don't even need to draw anything. So there's a fun little thing with how programs are handled. If I'm grabbing this and dragging this around like this can pause the frame of what's going on. Also, by shaking it around, I just force closed everything, so give me a moment. But yeah, so doing this can pause the frame of the program, which can lead to a lot of problems if I'm doing step events, is the short of it. So that's why I need to be like cautious with these time sources versus frames, and what you need to be cautious about with multiplayer is because there is a massive amount of desync problems that can occur if someone fucks around like that. In fact, I first was introduced to that sort of concept by playing games myself, but like someone that like really made it public and clear how a lot of developers don't consider it is actually Spiffing Brit. Is there's a lot of games he's played where it's showing that certain events are done on certain pacings, which lead to ways to break them out, basically. So if I had done that with my time sourcing system versus like, I could basically have enemies right on top of me. I could make it so they never can move because they move on frame. But the time sources are still going off, so I could just one-shot everything around me and then repeat that process multiple times. However, I believe I've already got pseudo prevention for some of that system because of the way I do handle things. Should be fine, but I would need to test. So I'm going to go to the step event because we're going to want to nick something. This. Okay. Now I'm going a little quiet here, but this is kind of what we're doing. So, we've got that. So now we take this. We ignore this part. And we dump these in here. Okay. So this is more or less the function that I've been talking about. The thing is, we don't actually need the additional looping of this. We can just do this, which is smarter. There. Nice. And then we can copy this. And do that to this. Do that to me. And then we take this one. I'll put that there. Okay. So this should be, outside of EX and Assist, a nice new clean system to use for cooldowns. Just gonna do this for the moment. This will be better explained when we do actually introduce multiplayer, but probably just best to do this. And now I can do this yoink. And put that, yeah. Okay. Remove this because I don't think that's what we're using for it anymore. Let's see. No, that is what we're using. Okay, because it is pulling from the correct location. Weird abandoned item pausing. I'm gonna remove all of this. All of that. That should be correct. I'm gonna just leave this here for a moment so we can use the search function on all of this. Ignore comments. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Player, alright, here we go. So we're just removing old sys code that I'm pretty sure it no longer has any actual thing. Yep. Cool. Nice. It's nice to slim down the code. Alright, we don't need to do anything here, actually. Also, this needs to be on room start. Number of arguments, function time source, expected 0, got 6. What? Okay, interesting. So that let's see if that launches or if that's going to actually be an error that I need to pay attention to. No, it's fine. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oops, it's Control K. There we go. That was the issue there. So let's see if we crash going in here. We do. Time source callback must be a method or function. Should be correct though. Cool. Okay. Was noticing a bit of lag there, but you know, thing is testing. Okay, so that's not to be concerned with. Alright. Oh, pardon me. I do apologize. Okay. So that means we can now introduce that as how we handle cooldowns, if we so choose. Right, if we so choose, that's what we need to do. It's only taken an hour and a half to actually get that implemented. I mean, it's not too bad, all things considered. So it does mean that when we go through the weapons, we need to go to this. So this is what we're going to be changing. I think there's a hair in my mouth. There we go, I think I got it. Don't know. It's the problem with trying to get a hair out of your mouth is sometimes you put more hair in your mouth. There we go. Definitely got it that time. I have cats, so there's hair fucking everywhere. Okay, so what it would be now is skill cooldown push. So it'd be the weapon, skill type, which is skill dot weapon. The index would be weapon dot index And the cooldown. While we're at it, we might as well start actually adding this in. So cooldown. Down. Great. Does cooldown rate do the influencing? Yes, it does do all of the influencing there. So if we want it, we use it like that. If we want cooldown, we use this. And we can pretty much copy and paste this bit of code here, because everything should have the same cooldown location. So let's go to Iron Mike and see how that handles it. So we need enemies to spawn. Should be about after 4 seconds. 6 seconds. It's probably not the best weapon to test this with. Actually, ironically enough, testing it with this will probably be better. Okay. God, I'm feeling very sweet here. Okay. So we can see that it is working, though. That's the big thing. And like I said, we can more or less go through each of them and just dump it like that. Which is really fucking cool. This is why I like doing this kind of code. And what's technically better about this as well is that there is a system we have in place that we can actually remove now, which is these. Because these are no longer triggering themselves from the time source, they're getting triggered on the other end when they've counted down. Which it may sound like there's a very minor argument with that. It is huge, because this means there is so much code that I keep writing every time that no longer needs to be written, and it's so fucking awesome. So yay to clean up of code. Because if you see, like, almost all of them have, like, these two put here very quickly. Don't need it anymore. But you have any idea how nice it is to just find, like, 2-3 lines of code on it that you basically overuse every single fucking weapon, every single item, and you can just go, you know what? We don't need that anymore because we have a better system in place. We should probably keep going with these weapons though, and actually just making sure we're getting all of them in. So that is a massive, massive upgrade to functionality. Or just readability, I guess, is more the thing. Speed of making this code as well. Because, again, the faster I can make the code, the faster these get made. And I think it's hard to complain about that. Alright. Again, I also do need to go through and like remove how many things, because there's a lot of things that technically are double dipping on damage, I believe, because damage is kind of, the damage amp is calculated on damage dealing. And the reasoning we had for that was actually really simple, is that it meant that, like, example of, Sakura Petals. The Demon Umbrella, that weapon. That weapon had the weakness that, like, it would spawn the things and then it would basically have set damage permanently unless you leveled it up, so it would lock the damage then. And it's just probably better to calculate damage on damage dealing, not on damage, not on sending damage. But it is really nice to have a better system like this in place. And again, it's really nice because, again, we have a consistent thing for this, like, these values. Index and value 4 will always be the only ones we need to push for that. I know I'm basically hyping up my own code, but you got to gas yourself up sometimes, man. When you introduce a system like this, that's a super clean rework that is just faster and easier to use. And Interesting. There's a little bit of old code there that needed to be fixed. Kind of good to go through and do these reworks because of that. There's a lot of little code that I miss from time to time. But yeah, like, see, this is a new weapon that we introduced, Butterfly Blade. Still has the same problems, because there was just no rework. It's fucking great. I love it. No, I'm actually really happy with that change. Okay, so that's all weapons just completely moved to the new system and just drastically improved because of that. Which is awesome. Really, really happy with that. Oh. Alright, let's take a moment to kind of think over things and, in a sense, take a break, because full cylinders for a good little while there just really ruined me. See, this is the power of going out for a walk. I didn't go for a walk this weekend, and I try and go for a walk every day at the moment. Weather dependent, mind you. But I didn't go for a walk for a few days, and I go for a walk, and then just immediately it's like, ah, yes. My brain is now understanding what I need to do. This is why I felt like a little lost with programming recently. Just not knowing quite what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. Because it's really hard to tick boxes when you don't know what boxes you're ticking yet. Right? Where's that still over there? Oh, it's because I probably I had to restart my PC this morning, because I was stupid. Let me explain the stupidity, it's great. So, I woke up, I do my double checks of everything that I do in the mornings. And I'm like trying to listen to a video, and I'm like, why is the audio not playing? That's weird. Look at all my audio settings, all of it's right. Everything's okay. Okay. This is weird. Restart computer, because it's like maybe the connection didn't correctly log it. I don't know. And then I go, okay, well, I'm going to look at the app for my headphones and see if there's something there. Look at it. I'm like, why is the audio off? There's a little thing here on them where you can scroll the volume up and down. Sometimes when I put it down, I roll it. And I just don't know. I must have done that last night while it was turning off. And in the process, yeah, just fucking muted everything. And I reset my computer, I restarted my computer for the sake of stupidity. It's great. Oh. So good times by that. Yeah, so now we need to add that cooldown thing to items and abilities. We still need to finish our reworks of abilities as well as we're going. But now we have a way to use as a reference point for if we want to make cooldowns visible, which is big. Because I know, again, so my friend that works on this with me, that does help on the UI, he was the one that made a comment on while we were playing Swarm that it's would have been nice to have the cooldowns actually shown. Again, some of the values missing in that mode, which, to go and like prove how much of a massive fucking nerd I am, I've actually been scouring the wiki of this information. So the wiki does have the info about a lot of these things. Like area scalings and baseline values. Some of it's links to the wrong places because it's using base league terminology, so it links to the original baseline league terms. But if you do go to Swarm and go through the information in let's see if I can pull it up. Here we go. And here, and you look at the characters, you'll see a lot of this stuff. There's still a lot of information that's just straight up not there, which is really fucking annoying. Because as an example, I think the big one that I use is the bunny boons. Yeah, a lot of these don't have any flat, like, actual numbers attached to it that we don't know. You just see, again, tremendous amount of movement speed. Okay, how much is tremendous? Here we actually do get a lot of good numbers. Again, this is awesome. I just wish that we got more of these. And also, so, like, some of this information could have been in-game. I do not see why it wasn't. In fact, some of the wording in here is better than the wording in-game. Because it also has the icons as well to attach. So, like, these, for example, are probably the best examples of it. Where it's like 40% damage, like, I think you just see the gain 40% damage, lose 30 max health. I think the damage has the symbol, the health doesn't. I remember. Stuff like that. But like this one, gain 60% duration. I have never seen this one, I'll be honest. Uptime upgrade. I've genuinely never rolled that one. That would be amazing to allow me. That'd be fucking hysterical, what? Also, I don't think it was 5. I thought it was 1. Did they buff that one? I don't know. Because that's the one you get for beating... Is it Extreme Aatrox? I've only fucking activated it once. And I died like immediately after, so I never got to stack it up. It would have been fucking hysterical though. Get that and then get the one where it's like, kills... Have a chance to drop heals. One of them's that, right? This one, fucking... I still love how it got nerfed because it's too strong. Yeah, here we go. Enemy you kill has a 25% chance to drop healing pack. Pick up a healing pack and additionally grants health regen. Yeah, I want to fucking get that as a combo one day. It's just like actually unkillable. That'd be so funny. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I also have maxed out anima power in this, so I'm a fucking degenerate. But like seeing this as well, some of this is quite nice. Yeah, so these are the only two values that are actually augmented between characters, by the way. And for the most part, pretty much everyone's just 1,000 and somewhere between 0 and 30 for that. There's some outliers, but it's pretty much there consistently. But yeah, there's some values that this mode is missing that I would have loved to have seen. So I feel like it would have helped a lot with understanding the mode, as well as for someone that does like analysis of the mode. It's kind of rough to try and find that information. Oh. Not just because I want to steal the info that they have, because that would be also nice. But you know. Trying to find out all of the damage numbers. To be fair, the damage scaling in that game is really weird. But like, that's one of the issues, is like there's no... I don't believe there was any information on enemies scaling. So like, you can't actually find their stats. Which is really, really rough. I would have loved to have seen what the enemy stats were. Yeah, there's nothing. Because then I could like go, I can see how much damage everything does, and then I compare it with points and then all that stuff. But I understand not making all of that information readily available. Just kind of sad, because I think that that information would be beneficial. Oh, massive fucking nerds like myself. Alright. So... all weapons are going to have true for their cooldowns. Visible. I'm going to leave that alone for now, because again, that's one of those things that will introduce much later. I don't even think it's going to be this patch, unless my friend decides to go hog wild and get it done. But I'm not going to message him about it at this stage. I should probably add it to the things to do list. Just put in... what did we call it again? Oops, that's what I was tabbing to. Um... There we go. Awesome. Okay. By the way, I want to show. So you want to know how easy it is to change out the tile set, because we are showing the tile set now a little bit. The new one, and I've been playing around with how easy it is to like set this up. You want to see how happy I am with how easy it is now to do. So this is the original one. I can just literally do open here, import, and we go to game, and it's that. Go here, put in the new one, and it's immediately switched over. So as I'm working on this and improving upon it, I can just like put it in really quickly to see what it actually looks like in game. Which is how I've managed to work on specific parts of it, because I'd mucked up a few things a few times over. The first thing I screwed up with was I did this the wrong way. So I put the dark parts that basically would be at the tops of everything, and then I also, when I put it on the bottom, I also had it on the bottom of everything, so these like line pieces here would have it there as well. Which doesn't look good, obviously. So it did require a little bit of like effort and playing around and testing it out and seeing where it's at, getting the positioning right. But I think this looks a lot nicer. We probably are gonna still move them around and improve upon them. Because I can just see like a constant amount of work that can be done to make these look better and all that. We also need to add like foliage, proper foliage at some point, which is going to probably reduce how much foliage is just the drawn stuff, because this does look really repetitive and ugly because of that. But I think I nailed it with some of the sand. The sand I'm actually quite happy with, like the way that it kind of merges together, works pretty nicely. The edges and all that. There's some parts of it that you'll probably never get to see easily on these testings, but we have like these pieces. If I like kind of hover around, you'll see that there's all sorts of different ones that we've that I did up to test out the style. That some of them like merge them nicely, some of them keep them very separate. I think I did a good job of making it like slightly diverse and interesting. All things considered. But yeah, so there's going to be another value I have to push through to these, which is going to be sendable. We talked about this before. I'm not going to worry about that now. That's going to be next update, but we're going to have to push in a value of sendable, which is basically when this triggers, should this notify the other players. Should this be sent via the multiplayer session? Because the ones that are going to just augment stats shouldn't. Just stats. If they do change other things, then I believe they should. Because keep in mind, again, we're going to have after, I'm pretty sure after every level up and every half second, we're going to have all essential, well, every level up I'm going to probably just transfer all stats that are necessary. And then on every half second, every stat that could be modified that needs to be sent through. So with that, it would probably be damage, area, amount, like those sorts of values. Just so we're keeping the information fairly consistent. I will need to find a nice, clean way to bundle that info. Because if we look at the player create event, it's not all of this, but a lot of this would be getting sent. Nothing to do with EXs or assists. None of that needs to be sent other than when it activates. Like when it is available and when it is activated. That is all we probably need to send through. I think that's all I really want to do. But like these stats here, these stats would need to be transferred over fairly regularly. One of the big things that would need to be done as well is enemies have to have a death state, which basically when they go death state, they'll delete themselves, all that stuff. But it means that when they hit when they have a state change, that state change pushes over to the other. Like all essential data on cast gets sent, and then all essential data on state change gets sent. That's the main stuff that I want to do. But like, these would need to be sent through regularly. But like, this doesn't. This can be done locally. Like, it doesn't need to be done. It doesn't need to be sent. This kind of does need to be sent with the stuff. So those do. I don't need to send this over. Because if they're going to res, the res effect is going to be an event that gets sent anyway. Right? Like, we're going to probably have res events be a little less sudden and a little bit more like you actually get like a moment of death and then resurrect. And then, yeah, just these values would need to be sent over as well. So it's things that need to be just sent over on a semi-regular basis. And not wasting space in that send, because we don't want to. What else? What else do we want? Sorry. Bit of a yawn. So yeah, there's the enemy stuff that we want to work on, but I don't want to work on that today, because that's going to spread me too far, too thin. Because the enemy stuff is going to probably be like... So I'm going to reveal kind of the info. I was hoping to have the next update done last week or this week, and I think I talked about this briefly last week. I'm going to be honest, it's probably not going to happen at all in that time frame. I'd be surprised if I get this done this month. Enemies is going to take ages to get everything done for it. That's going to be a lot of my free time. And this stuff here that we're working on at the moment, a lot of this I don't need to work on now, so I'm not working on it now. But we're going to need to do some work around and get information. Because, again, from probably all of the stuff I've said about the multiplayer, it should be understandable that once we hit this next update, it's not that I can even slow down. Is that like I have so much to get done, but I can take a bit of a break, which is what my intention is. Is that once we hit completion of this update, I'm gonna take like a little bit of time away from the project to do optimization, cleanup, basics, and just review over what people are saying. Because I'm hoping that if I do the fanfare that I want to do for this, that it will actually get a little bit more attention and people will play it and give me some answers. Because I don't believe I've had any like actual responses to feelings of the game at this stage. I can go quickly and look at the other channel because that's where I get a lot of the would get information if I get it. If you just give me a moment. Switch account, VTuber Unite official. Yeah, no new information. To be fair, the last update was a fucking almost a year ago, so it's not too surprising. I kind of hate that I have like YouTube shorts sitting there to upload that I still haven't uploaded. Or like I say uploaded. They're uploaded, I've just not made them live. And it's because I want to make more, but I've just been so busy with the game that I've not been interested in editing at all. That is why I've just not been doing it. But I should. I really should. Because like let me have a look. Shorts. Need to add descriptions to these, but it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. I only got 6 sitting there. I thought I had more. I guess I've got a lot pre-edited as well. I mean, I've also not been like noting down new ones for a while because I want to set up a system for Twitch where, because I know I can like have a thing implemented so I can clip it from my stream deck, and I know Twitch has like inbuilt clip editing functionality, so I can like make it a thing. So that's kind of one of the things I want to do. Because then that would just make like the process 100 times easier. And I could probably make like an excessive amount of shorts again. Because hey, reminder, we used to be posting 2 shorts a day at one point. And we did that for a long time as well. I need to be posting shorts, and I need to probably like make other social medias if I want this channel to actually grow, because it does need to become like almost a full-time job if you want like substantial growth. Alright. Oh sure, Rain Hose re-debuting? Fuck yeah. Maybe I should try and do up her sooner rather than later for the thing, once her model stuff's out. Because then, you can also use that as a little bit of leverage for attention. I know how that sounds, but this is how this shit works. You gotta cloud chase a little bit. I want the game to do well, okay? And to do that, I need as many people playing it as possible so I can experience, like, see what they think. Um. All right. Oh, you know what I'm slightly sad at? So Ironmouse is doing her like VTuber, what's it, VTube Academy? I'd love to participate, but you need to be fucking Twitch affiliate for that. Which I understand the reasoning behind that. But sad because it means I can't participate. You know I would have participated in that in a fucking heartbeat. I don't even know what you need for affiliate anymore. Isn't it in... Where would I be looking? Achievements, I think that's where I need to look in Twitch for that. Yeah, there's affiliate. I meet 2 of the 4 requirements. Let's see, stream on different days, done that, and stream for 8 hours. I more than exceeded that. Just need followers and average viewers, I see. What does path to partner require? Oh, that's just way higher viewership, okay. I love how affiliate and partner are like slightly different on their requirements and in really strange ways to me. So affiliate requires a set amount of followers, a set amount of time streamed, and then stream on different days and then an average viewership. And it's pretty low, the average viewership. So affiliate is just you need to have followers. Fine, it's easy enough. Partner, you need to stream for significantly more hours, which we more than exceed that by nearly double. Stream on different days, which is only slightly higher. I guess it's a bit higher. And then viewers, which is way, way higher. So I guess, yeah, partner is definitely higher than affiliate. That's the big thing. Build a community. Completing this achievement unlocks the ability to grant VIP status to members of your community. VIPs have the ability to equip a social chat badge and chat in slow, sub only, or follower modes. Oh yeah, that's the basically like poor man's subscription, right? Pretty reasonable. So yeah, all we need to do is just like get some more people watching. That's fine. I mean, that will eventually happen, right? So that shit works if I get the advertisement going. I do very different things. I hate. So I fucking wiggle my knee a lot. It's kind of cold and it's just something to do. But it makes me like bob up and down a lot, and I notice that on the streams and that bugs me. Do you have any idea how many times I'm editing a short and I'm just like, I fucking hate myself looking at that? I say it as I'm doing it, basically. It's frustrating. Oh, you know what I've also been doing? I played a little bit of Sanctum 2 in my spare time now. because like I said yesterday, didn't really do much programming or drawing or anything yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of an off day. So I didn't really have much of an off day during the weekend. So yeah, I played a little bit of Sanctum 2, and fuck, I really still love that game. And I've played Orcs Must Die 3 and Sanctum 2, and outside of like cleanup, Sanctum 2 is a way better game to me still, which is just really funny because it's like that game came out like a decade ago, and it is far exceeding a game that came out much more recently. And to be fair, again, this is a very personal opinion. A lot of people could be have their own opinions that differ. That's fine. But the point is, it's kind of funny. It's very funny to me, actually. It's like, what do you mean? This game's fucking trash. No. To be fair, there's a lot of optimization mistakes that they made in Orcs Must Die, which is why it's like still quite buggy. The amount of times that game has like lagged out and crashed for me, and it's again not even streaming on a PC that can actually handle like Cyberpunk. Again, we're not streaming. I feel like people really don't understand how damning streaming is to my PC. Like right now, it is taking 60% of my CPU. 60-70% of my CPU. Like, I can play a lot of games, but fucking Streamlabs means that I cannot. It is a rough fucking time. So yeah, that's why I'm fucking constantly scouring TradeMe to see if there's like cheap ass fucking second computer I can get. Because I'm fucking poor. To be fair, I can't really spare money at the moment because I'm still paying off and saving up for the trip in November to the Migu event, which I'm still very excited for. Expect a lot of discussion around that when that happens. And yes, as I must stress, I'm probably going to be gone for like a week. So there would be no streams during that time. I will try and set some stuff up in the meantime. To be fair, I should finish doing my editing on my videos that I have. Because I have at least one video that's like very nearly done, and it is getting more and more outdated as time goes on, and the longer I wait on it, the worse it's going to be. Because it was the Acheron Pool event, which it just requires me to do some last cleanups and some fixing of the subtitling. That's all it actually needs. It could probably be done in a day. But why would I get it done when I can continue to put that off and work on my game? This is why I feel like I'm a bad content creator. And just... yeah. I don't know. I'm a bad content creator just because I want to make a game. Oh god, someone trying to fucking stir shit with Thor again, getting their ass laid out. Yeah, okay, that's God. Gotta hate that shit, man. So I'm not gonna get into it, but it's a frustrating experience seeing that shit constantly. Is the usage of a community as a weapon and not as a support. One should not do that. One should not see something that they use a community or something that they're potentially a part of as a way of justifying being an asshole. Like, we shit-talked Game of Thrones fans enough for that. Why can't we do that with anyone else? There's no real difference. Yeah, it's just... Oh, God. Okay, no. I got a rant that I need to make. I got a rant that I just saw that I need to make. So, the Yakuza Amazon series, right? I already had pretty low expectations for it, but there is, like... There was a stage show that was done, and that was really funny from what I've seen of it as well. It just looks really good. Very memey. I mean, one of the best parts of it was fucking Majima, right? Where there's literally one of the scenes is him peeking around a doorway, like the edge of a fucking wall with the side that's got the eye patch. Which is such Majima energy. But so there's the Amazon series that's coming out, and they've reported, so all of the reports of like, will this be in it, will that be in it, and like hearing no's to a lot of them, it's like, okay, well, I'm getting concerned because now it's feeling like we're drifting away from what makes that universe really fun and interesting to me. And then something came out like a week ago that just completely was just, okay, well, I'm not going to support this now. Which is, and this is a summary of it, is the TV show cast reveals that they've never played the games because the team told them not to, and that like the producing staff and stuff like that have said, we decided to do our own version. Which, cool. Don't use the Yakuza title then. Do not make a, oh, this is a Yakuza inspired series, and then say, yeah, but we're not referencing the original material. We're probably just going to have the names and general plot. So just then do something else. Just do that, but not title it that way, because you'll get less flack for it. That's what we're seeing at the moment with the Borderlands movie, in a sense, right? Is the Borderlands movie is getting absolutely dogged because it's not gonna be what people want. I don't know if people remember this, but like, we've seen video games to movies a lot. Like, we had Doom in 2005, I think it was, or 2000, something like that. When did that movie come out? Doom movie. – 2005, yeah. That was fucking awful. But it had just enough memes and references in it that we could enjoy it. But like, as someone that's gone around for this long, like, video game TV shows and movies have always been trash. Only in recent time have we kind of seen like that not be the case with like the Fallout series, with the I've heard a lot of positivity around the Last of Us one as well. Like, a few of them are doing well, but like, those are also fairly story-rich environments, and they worked very hard at adapting the content in an effective way. And like, then I feel like from that, people were starting to go, you know what, maybe we should give these sort of shows a shot. And then you get this, and like, this just reminds me of the Halo shit, like, all over again. Which got, like, what was it, 1-2 seasons, and all of it was bad? Really? Like, it just got dogged on. Because they went their own direction with it, and it conflicted with elements from the original. So let me explain. As someone that's played a lot of Yakuza on this channel, I feel like I have a little bit of a stake in this kind of conversation. Let me explain what I think Yakuza does well. Yakuza does a high intense drama story riddled with shitposts and memes. Why? Because it means that it can make its heavy stuff heavier. Because you're not going to just do the heavy stuff and you can take a break going to the cabaret club. That is the beauty of what the Yakuza games were. Is that they were ups and downs, and they were different. I think, is it Maxwell made one of the best videos that analyzed a Yakuza game, and was the reason why I wanted to play Yakuza, right? Maxwell's Yakuza 0 video. That encapsulates what Yakuza tries to do, which is tell a story of a life, or like give you an experience of life, which is ups and downs, randomness and wildness and wackiness. Sure, turned up a little bit more than it is in a normal life, but nonetheless, kind of what it is like. When I heard that there wasn't going to be like karaoke in it and none of the like meme stuff from what I heard, I immediately had the warning bells of, well, then you're going to have to make the story less dense and less impactful and less like gripping, which is really bad. Because that's not gonna go well. And then when you hear that like they don't even fucking play the games, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I can see why you thought that stuff wasn't valuable then. Because you don't know what you're actually, like, taking from. So that's my rant on that. I'm gonna try, I'll keep it there. I mean, I could go into a rant about the Borderlands movie, which I've not watched. I want to stress, I've not watched it, and I'm going off of, like, side information. Aww. Celia and Sayu being cute as fuck. Aww. Yes, I am looking at Twitter right now. Fuck you. Sharing the 2-year anniversary. Aww. But yeah. Fun times, fun times. Yeah, no, I'm very critical about a lot of that sort of media because, again, it's... Let me explain it as best as I have watched and consumed a lot of this media in my time. And the fact that there's not a lot of, like, they've learnt from this. Like, they've failed to learn from it so much in so many instances of what went wrong that it feels like they're just trying to make it to see what eventually, like, throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. And it just keeps failing to stick, and they don't know why. And it's like, maybe you could actually, like, think about things. And it's the same with comic book movies at the moment, right? Like, I do think there is a very valid thing of comic book movie fatigue. But then it's because all that really does is it means that we're more hypercritical about movies in their category. It's not that we don't want to watch them, it's that we've watched so many of them that we've just become like so bored that unless it does things really well, then it's just one of the worst movies of all time. Do I think that we're genuinely probably more hypercritical about MCU movies than we used to be? And like some of the movies that come out now that are just downright the worst of the MCU movies that they're making are not actually that much worse than some of the worst ones back in the originals. No, I think that's about right. Like they're probably about as bad. Like I don't think they've gotten significantly better. But then there's occasionally the ones that, like the Deadpool Wolverine, that just blow out of the water and they're fucking incredible. That is why I do think the fatigue exists, but I think that there's that misunderstanding. It's like, it's not that we don't want them, it's that we want you to actually keep upping the quality and keep improving upon that, not just releasing the same drivel over and over again. Which is really, really fucking hard to do when you aren't using a character like Deadpool that can do that shit. Right. I did not need that. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie Pyramid of Light released in theaters 20 years ago. Dude, fucking don't do that to me. I watched that movie. Fuck you. I enjoyed that movie. I didn't need that. Seriously, that came out in 2004? Damn, that sounds about right, but like, damn. That's a good movie, too. Damn. Oh, I have a thing I need to send somewhere. It's a meme that I need to send somewhere so I can use it later. I don't know. Drama and stupid shit, man. Drama and stupid shit. I should stop looking at Twitter, man. For my own fucking sanity. Alright. I don't think there's much else that we can work on today. We did a good, like, hour and a half of getting that work done, and then, like, half an hour of pushing... getting it like cleaned up and finished through, and then like 40 minutes of just shit talking. It's been great. Absolutely love it. Is what it is though. But I do think I need to take a break now because I'm getting a little bit hungry. And very distracted. So, with that being the case, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. You're awesome. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye.